So once we have our data in and kind of all cleaned up and everything, we're ready to probably start adjusting some of the symbology or colors. And then also we're going to edit some attribute tables and add additional information in. So kind of that non-spatial data information. But first we're going to look at symbology. So my polygon here, this dark gray, doesn't really work with some other stuff I have going on. So if you find the item you want to change in your contents tree, right click and you can make color selections, or you can just double click on the item and select color from over here. It'll open a symbology flyout. So if I click on gallery, I can pick a different color. I'm going to make this lighter colored than what it is. But right now I can't see any outlines for the individual boundaries. So once I have a color chosen, I'm going to go to the properties option, and notice you can change your outline color or your outline width. And right now the width is set to 0. So you can make an adjustment, and it is a little slow to respond on mine. So if you're sitting here jacking this number up and you're not seeing anything, wait a minute and it'll catch back up. Keep that in mind. It takes a little bit of a time to adjust. So you can play with this, get your items looking the way you want to. Maybe monuments, you want to change the color or the size of those. I'm going to make mine a little larger so you can see that in there. You can change the color that way as well. So you can do that with whatever you have over here in your contents tree. To close this menu, just click on the X. So the next thing we're going to look at is editing the attribute table. So some of the information we see currently is spatial. That's what are the XY components. But things like maybe the property owner names, you can't really see that. That's the non-spatial data we want to be able to use a GIS for. So what we're going to do is pull up the attribute table. So find the item you want to make changes to. For me, I'm going to do this with my boundaries. So I'm going to right click on boundaries and click on attribute table. So once the attribute table is open, you can see some of the information that's in here. We scroll all the way to the end. One of the things that's automated is the shape area. This is the area in square feet of each polygon, but something as a surveyor I'm probably more interested in is what the acres are. So that's going to be a field we're going to add in here. Another one we're going to add in is the owner name of the parcel. So to add in one of these columns, basically, we're going to click on the Add button. And this one I'm going to call acres. So if it's not activated, you'll just click this space here to make it where you can type information in. The next thing we need to do is say what kind of data type this is going to be. So if we click in this box, we get a list of items. The way that we're going to calculate acres based off of the square feet basically is with a method that's called float. So I'll select float, and we're going to go ahead and hit the enter key there. We'll hit save. And we can hit X. And if we scroll to the right, we can see that acres has been added. Now right now it says null. It's not doing any calculation for us. So what we're going to do, trying to make this a little easier to see, we're going to right click and we're going to go to calculate field. And we're going to have to kind of create an equation here. So we're going to take shape area. So we have all these options right now. These fields are coming from these column names. I'm going to go to shape area. You might have to double click it. And the calculation to get acres, acres equals the square feet divided by 43,560. So I can click OK. And notice then it is calculating the acres based on the shape field. So I don't know what kind of information you may want to put into your attribute table. There are some other options there in the calculations. Right click, calculate field, that you can take various information that's already in the table and then do different things to it. So we need to add another field here for owner name. So I'm going to click on add. This field I'm going to call owner name. You only have so many characters that you can type in, so you might have to shorten some of your options. So I'm just going to put own a name for mine. And the type of data that's going to go into this is going to be text data. I'm going to type in the owner's names. So I'm going to find text from the list and select that and press enter. And then once that's done, I can hit save. And then close this. And now out at the end, we see that owner name has been added. So the way that we're actually going to type this information in, we're going to use the select by rectangle option. And then we're going to pick a polygon. In this case, I'm doing owner name, so I'm going to pick a boundary. So I have this one selected. I'm going to go to this null section, double click in it to make it active, and then I'll put the owner name in there and press enter. And then I would just continue to do that for each parcel that I have. So this one is selected. I'll double click and type in the owner name. And you'll just continue adding data in that way. Once you have the table filled in, you can hit this clear option here to deselect what's going on in there. Then you can click on save up here in the ribbon. Do you want to save the edits? Yes. And then we'll close. And you probably want to check to see that your information is in. So if we go to the map tab and click on explore, when we click on one of these polygons we've just edited, we're going to see our information start to come in. So we have acres here and we have owner name that's been added. You can add additional information. Maybe you want to add stuff to your point symbols. So I'll go to the monuments and open the attribute table for that. And just in the same way,